What's going on, everyone? Today we're going to be watching and reacting to 2001 A Space Odyssey. This is a Patreon request from Ian, so thank you very much for this request. Of course, I've heard about this film. I believe it is directed by Stanley Kubrick, and I've only seen one other movie of his, The Shining. I've not seen... I think he did... was it Full Metal Jacket? There's some movie, Full Metal something. I think that's one of his other movies. Haven't seen that, but I would like to see more of his films, because I know he is one of the most well-known directors, one of the, you know, best acclaimed directors of all time, I guess. This movie itself, I've heard of it plenty of times. I've heard of people usually putting it in their top 100s of all time. It's definitely a movie that's been highly praised. So I want to check this out, see how much I like it. Of course, it's a request as well, so it gives a perfect time for me to actually watch this movie itself. And it's a long film, but hopefully it's good. All I know about it is I believe it's based around like the moon landing and everything like that. And interestingly enough, this actually came out a year before they actually did land on the moon in 69. So this movie came out in 68. So just curious to see what it's going to be like. I think there's a piece of music from it I've heard before, but that's about it. So let's get into this. If you want to see the full cut reaction, that'll be my Patreon. Link to that will be in the description down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Let's watch. Actually, this would be the second oldest film I watched on my channel, because 68, I mean, I think the only other movie in the 60s I watched on the channel was Psycho. So I'm assuming it's supposed to be pitch black right now. Maybe we're looking off into space. I don't know. Is it supposed to be pitch? I don't know. Is it supposed to be like this? I'm just gonna let it play. Yeah, we're definitely looking in space right now. I feel like I can see stars. Unless that's just shit on my screen. Is that? Oh, that's just shit on my screen, I think. That's just little fuzzy things on my screen. No, I think we're looking at pitch blackness. I wonder who the composer is. I could look that up after the movie. But whenever the piece of music comes up that I believe is from this movie, I'll let you guys know, because I've heard a piece of music from this before. I'm pretty sure it was in this. I could be wrong, but I think it was in this. What was that? Was I supposed to sit through that, or was that like, you know, was that meant for something else? I don't know. I'm not gonna question it. I'll just... Oh, this is the music I was talking about. Okay, yeah. This does not look like it's from the 60s. This shit looks good. That music goes hard. That shit goes hard. Gives me the chills. The dawn of man. Whenever I'm watching older movies, I feel like a good thing to do is put yourself in the mind of someone who was watching this in theaters in the 60s. Like, I feel like completely changes your perspective on it, usually. Oh, shit. So they got like an actual guy in a monkey suit there getting attacked by a... That was a tiger, right? It could have been a jaguar, maybe. I don't know. I don't know the difference. I'm not an animal person. Like, I know, like, some animals, but when it gets really specific, I don't really know. I love apes, though. That's just because they're so human-like, you know? What is it, I don't know why watching this is so... There's something funny about it. Damn! I wonder who's making these noises. I mean, I'm assuming humans had to make these noises, right? Like, in terms of the filming of the movie. So, is this movie going to show, like, the evolution of man and how it got to the point where they were able to get on the moon? Because it's obviously a pretty big evolution. Oh, that's not a tiger. Honestly, like, I'm not sure if I prefer practical, like, when they do stuff like this in movies rather than just doing CGI apes. I think I prefer it like this, but again, I think it depends on the movie. Planet of the Apes trilogy recently, I feel like it's more like, you know, action centric, so you probably want CGI when it's more action centric, but stuff like this, it's more intimate. Obviously, well, this is the 68, of course they're not gonna be but you know what I mean. I'm just saying in general, like, which one do I normally prefer, like, even today. When was CGI invented? I don't even know. Oh, did one of the Barbie trailers mimic this? Because I vaguely remember there being a Barbie trailer where it looked just like this, but instead of a giant block, it was a Barbie doll. I vaguely remember that. I think they were trying to... Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they're afraid to touch it. The music is so eerie. You'd think this is a horror movie. Maybe it is gonna be one, I don't know. Oh, this music again. He's just going to town on this thing. Gotta show who's boss. This is not at all what I was expecting, though, I'll be honest. I mean, I'm sure this isn't gonna be the whole movie of just a bunch of monkeys. Like I said, I think it's gonna be all about where man got to eventually. Oh, now we're in space? Wait, and this music came from this movie as well? Unless these are pieces of music that already existed, I don't know, but maybe they come from this movie. Interesting. So are we in, is that gonna be 2001? Is that why the movie's called 2001: A Space Odyssey? Is it like jump into the future? The future from when this movie was made, obviously. Not our future. Because I don't know, like, was the whole moon landing thing something that was like, did people know that that was gonna happen? Like, was it kind of like in preparation for years and the public knew about it? Or was it something that they were just doing behind the scenes, and then when it ended up happening, they're like, oh, by the way, we just landed on the damn moon. Like, I don't know how long in advance that was like public knowledge that they were trying to land on the moon. I have no idea. Is that a pen? What is that? Why is it flying? Oh, it's because they're going to space. So you're gonna, yeah, there's low gravity. Weightless condition. Grip shoes. I wonder if they actually filmed this in a low gravity environment, or if they just did other stuff to make that pen fly. I have no idea. Every shot in this looks really good. That's something I've noticed with a lot of just good movies in general. Like they always tend to that's something I think a lot of people need to learn from, is just having shots like this that just kind of linger on the shot for a long period of time and don't cut away from it so fast. I think that's something that a lot of, you know, amazing directors just understand and always will do in their movies. I guess there's a time and a place for it, but like stuff like this, like I love how it's just staying on this shot and it's just showing it, you know? What's interesting about the music in this movie, though, is, like I said, I've heard it in other things, but like, why are so many other movies allowed to use this music? Like, don't they need the licensing for it? Or is it just like, is it public domain at this point? I don't know. I swear, I've heard these songs in so many other movies and shows. It's insane. I don't know if it originally came from this, but at the very least, I'm assuming it was maybe well known because of this. I have no idea. Again, I'll find all this stuff on my own after the movie. I like questioning it now. You guys can answer it if you want in the comments, but you don't have to.
Here you are, sir. Main level, please.
Damn. First line of dialogue almost 30 minutes into the movie. That's insane.
Suppose you saw the work on the new section when you came in.
Hey, coming along great. Huh?
Yeah, it's fine.
So obviously they all work here, but it's gotta be really weird working in a space station like that. I could not do it though. I'd be getting sick, bro. Looking out that window, I'd be getting sick every 2 seconds.
Dr. Floyd, I hope you don't think I'm being too inquisitive, but perhaps you can clear up the great big mystery about what has been going on up there.
I'm afraid I don't know what you mean.
Well, it's just that for the past 2 weeks, some extremely odd things have been happening at Clavis.
So what is Clavis?
Well, for one thing, whenever you phone the base, all you can get is a recording which
it's a base.
repeats that the phone lines are temporarily out of order.
2 days ago, one of our rocket buses was denied permission for emergency landing at Clavius.
Well, that does sound odd.
Yes, I'm afraid there's going to be a bit of a row about it. Denying the men permission to land is a direct violation of the IAS convention.
So I'm starting to think this isn't about the first landing on the moon. It's probably already happened by this time in this story. I don't know. Based on all this futuristic stuff, they probably have by now.
Quite frankly, we have had some very reliable intelligence reports that quite a serious epidemic has broken out at Clavis. Something apparently of an unknown origin.
I'm really not at liberty to discuss this.
I can't imagine where we're gonna get stuff like this in our lifetime, but I mean, I don't think I'd ever want to be a part of it anyways. Like, I couldn't be going to, I hate going on planes. You think I'm gonna go on a fucking spaceship up to, you know, obviously there's people already in space, you know, but I mean, like, as like casual as this looks, you know, like not even strapped to a chair, just kind of walking around as the thing goes straight up. They inject food into them? That's so weird. I like the little space caps they wear. Keeps their hair, I guess, all together. Oh shit! Oh, I'm assuming they're doing like a tilting room or something to film this. Or actually, I have no idea. Yeah, they gotta be, right? Oh, that is trippy. Oh my god. Yeah, people were definitely blown away by that in theaters. Again, putting myself in the mind of someone in the 60s, it's way more mind-blowing when you think of it like that, you know? Oh, they drink it. They look like shots. They look like something you get injected with. They're just drinks. I mean, that's still kind of weird, but, you know. Zero gravity toilet. So, is this Clavis, is it on the moon then? Looks like they're going to the moon. Gotta say, the music's probably one of the best parts about this movie so far. I appreciate music so much, so it's, you know, it's important. Oh, that's cool. I'm assuming they used models here, maybe, to film this?
First of all, I bring a personal message from Dr. Howell, who has asked me to convey his deepest appreciation to all of you for the many sacrifices you've had to make. And, of course, his congratulations on your discovery.
What's the discovery?
I know there have been some conflicting views held by some of you regarding the need for complete security in this matter. More specifically, your opposition to the cover story.
Oh.
Created to give the impression there's an epidemic at the base. This story of an epidemic might cause to your relatives and friends on Earth. I found this cover story personally embarrassing myself. However, I accept the need for absolute secrecy in this, and to prepare a report to the Council, recommending when and how the news should eventually be announced.
This music is so fucking eerie. It's creepy. I guess it fits the eeriness of space, you know?
Have you seen these yet?
What are they? Have a look at them.
Here's what started the whole thing.
Yeah, so what's going on here exactly? Let's look.
Magnetic rock, but all the geological evidence was against it. And not even a big nickel iron meteorite could produce a field as intense as this.
Oh, that's what it is?
We thought it might be the upper part of some buried structure, so we excavated out on all sides, but unfortunately we didn't find anything else.
It hasn't been covered up by natural erosion or other forces. It seems to have been deliberately buried.
Deliberately? Aliens? I'll be honest, I haven't recognized a single actor in this movie so far. Not a single one of them. Which, I mean, yeah, it's the 60s, so I do know less actors from the 60s, so not too surprised. Wait a minute! That's the same fucking thing from the beginning! You're taking a picture? Oh, damn, that hurt! Where's that coming from? Why is that happening? 18 months later, Jupiter mission? They're going to Jupiter? Or is the mission just called Jupiter? Running on walls. Well, I guess those aren't even technically walls. Oh, because, yeah, that's literally the floor of the room. But it's just interesting. I gotta watch some behind the scenes stuff on this because this is crazy cool. I guess, yeah, you gotta stay in shape, right? Because, like, I don't know how long you're out for spacing, but, you know, it's gotta be a while. It said 18 months later, so I guess 18 months he's out here. Gotta do whatever he can to stay in shape. The food looks disgusting, but I guess that's just what they gotta deal with up there. As long as they get their nutrients.
3 weeks ago, the American spacecraft Discovery 1 left on its half-billion-mile voyage to Jupiter.
So they are going to Jupiter. Wow.
And I'm sure that the entire world would join me in wishing you a safe and successful voyage.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Although hibernation has been used on previous space efforts, this is the first time that men have been put into hibernation before departure.
Is this the first movie that has this concept of space hibernation?
What's it like while you're in hibernation?
Well, it's exactly like being asleep. You have absolutely no sense of time. Only difference is that you don't dream.
As I understand it, you only breathe once a minute. Is this true?
Damn.
The sixth member of the Discovery crew was not concerned about the problems of hibernation, for he was the latest result in machine intelligence. the HAL 9000 computer.
Oh, the computer counts as a as a member?
We next spoke with the HAL 9000 computer, whom we learned one addresses as Hal. Good afternoon, Hal. How's everything going?
Good
Oh, it's that thing right there?
Everything is going extremely well. The 9000 series is the most reliable computer ever made. No 9000 computer has ever made a mistake or distorted information. We are all, by any practical definition of the words, foolproof and incapable of error.
Completely incapable of error? Wow.
I enjoy working with people.
I love these shots. This is so good.
He is just like a sixth member of the crew.
Does he have emotions?
In talking to the computer, one gets the sense that he is capable of emotional responses.
That's literally what I just asked.
Do you believe that Hal has genuine emotions?
Well, he acts like he has genuine emotions. Of course, he's programmed that way to make it easier for us to talk to him. But as to whether or not he has real feelings is something I don't think anyone can truthfully answer.
I guess this is just showing how probably boring life can get up there. You're just only surrounded by a few people. You only have whatever's here, you know? Something really cool looking about, like, what the 60s, 70s, like, what they thought the future was going to be like, you know, and the different technology stuff that they include. Dude, these shots are, it's like, what, how are they? I'm sure it's a rotating room, right? That's probably what it is, but they're also rotating the camera, so it's just really interesting.
I've wondered whether you might be having some second thoughts about the mission.
How do you mean?
It's rather difficult to define. Perhaps I'm just projecting my own concern about it.
And he even has concerns?
Certainly no one could have been unaware of the very strange stories floating around before we left. Rumors about something being dug up on the moon. But particularly in view of some of the other things that have happened, I find them difficult to put out of my mind. For instance, the way all our preparations were kept under such tight security. Sorry about this. I know it's a bit silly. I've just picked up a fault in the AE-35 unit. It's going to go 100% failure within 72 hours.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's so weird. So cool, though. This shit's making me dizzy. Interesting they're letting us hear his breathing. I think that makes it more intimate, makes it more grounded in a sense, which is weird to say for a movie set in space, but you know what I mean? Like, it feels like you're more so, like, it feels like you're with him. You're right next to him, hearing that breathing, you know? Or it even makes it feel like you yourself are in there, you know? What if he just, like, misses this, and he just starts going out further and further into space, and he's just stuck there, you know? I don't know what any of this shit means here. It reminds me of Sebastian Stan, this guy. I don't know the actor's name. I'll definitely look up all these actors after the movie. Like I said, they're all people I've never seen in anything else before, at least to my knowledge. Maybe I have and I just don't remember, but for the most part, I don't think I've seen most of these people.
Well, hell, I'm damned if I can find anything wrong with it.
No.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with it?
It's puzzling. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this before.
Even the robot can't figure it out? That's a problem.
I would recommend that we put the unit back in operation and let it fail.
Let it fail? But what would happen if
we
it
can
fails?
certainly afford to be out of communication for the short time.
Oh, it's just for communication. Okay, all right. I guess they could deal without that then. Something's probably going to go wrong in that little bit of time where they need the communication.
We should advise you, however, that our preliminary findings indicate that your onboard 90000 computer is in error predicting the fault. I say again, in error predicting the fault.
It could be that, yeah.
Listen, Hal, there's never been any instance at all of a computer error occurring in the 9000 series, has there?
None whatsoever, Frank.
Well, I'm sure you're right, Hal.
Interesting.
Oh, Frank, I'm having a bit of trouble with my transmitter and C-pod. I wonder if you'd come down and take a look at it with me.
Are they gonna have a secret talk without Hal or something? Be like, oh, dude, this computer's shitting us. I don't know, man. I think he's pulling our chain. Well, no, Hal can listen anywhere, so there's no way they'd talk secretly without him. That's a really creepy shot of Hal right there. Caution explosive bolts.
Rotate the pod, please, Hal. Rotate the pod, please, Hal.
Oh, they do want to talk without Hal. That's what they were doing then. Oh, shit. Damn. Okay, I was right then.
What do you think? I've got a bad feeling about him.
Oh, shit.
You know, of course, though, he's right about the 9000 series having a perfect operational record.
Unfortunately, that sounds a little like famous last words. Look, Dave, I can't put my finger on it, but I sense something strange about him.
Still, I can't think of a good reason not to put back the #1 unit and carry on with a failure mode analysis.
No, I agree about that. Let's say we put the unit back and it doesn't fail, huh? That would pretty well wrap it up as far as Hal was concerned, wouldn't it?
Well, we'd be in very serious trouble.
We would, wouldn't we? There isn't a single aspect of ship operations that's not under his control. If he were proven to be malfunctioning, I wouldn't see how we'd have any choice but disconnection.
I'm afraid I agree with you. We'd have to cut his higher brain functions.
Damn.
Well, that's far safer than allowing Hal to continue running things.
This is interesting. I didn't think this was going to turn into, you know, the possibilities of evil AI. He looks evil. Look at that. That's an evil looking shot right there. The red, you know. Oh shit, is it going to read lips? Oh, if it reads their lips. Oh, that would be crazy. That'd be interesting. I think maybe it can read their lips. Intermission. Oh shit. Movies back in the day had intermissions? Well, at least this one did. I've been fighting for intermissions for so long because I think they could work in movies. I feel like movies should implement them. If they're longer than like 2.5 hours, I think they should implement them. Only because I've got a small bladder, and so when I see a movie in the theater, I need to pee. So give me a break. Build it into the movie somewhere. I don't know. It has to be built in though. You can't. These theaters can't just force it because then it could fuck up the momentum of the movie. You have to make sure it's something that's priorly built into the movie itself. I'm actually gonna look up the composer of this movie. A good time to do it since we got an intermission. Or I could just skip the intermission, but I kind of like listening to the music. I gotta experience this the same way they did in theaters. We're back, but I don't think I'm gonna find it. It's hard to find it sometimes. I'm looking at IMDb, but sometimes if it doesn't pop up right away, it's hard to find. Whatever. I'll look it up later. As I was talking about older movies, which yes, anything before the 70s is older to me. I know a lot of people are like, no, those aren't considered old. You're only considered old when you go to like the 40s. It's like, no, if it's before the 70s, that's very old to me. I was born in the year 2000, so of course this is considered an old movie to me. Maybe not to everyone, but to me, yeah, it's considered an older movie. Even in the 80s, I would still consider this older, just by the very nature of them being before I was even born. But I would love to watch a lot of movies from like 50s, 60s, stuff like that. Even 40s, 30s. So that was a really cool shot there. Wow. Whoa. Oh. What the fuck? Oh, shit. Oh, he's dead, man. Ain't no way he's coming back from that. He's lost in space. Hal did that, right? I'm telling you, Hal heard knew what they were saying because he was reading the lips. He can read. He's a fucking computer. Of course he's gonna be able to read the lips.
Do you have a positive track on him?
Yes, I have a good track.
Do you know what happened?
Was it Hal that did it?
I'm sorry, Dave. I don't have enough information.
I think it was Hal, but I could be wrong. They like closely, went in on Hal. That was really cool how they showed him just outside the window flying by. He keeps showing this caution explosive bolts. I don't like it. I guess you can go get him with this pod, but I don't know. It's a good thing they had 2 people out on this mission here. Well, I guess there's more people on the mission. There's other people in the pods. Good thing 2 of them are awake, because what if it happened to just one of them? They'd be lost to space forever. Oh no. Oh no, more of this shit. Don't tell me they're gonna die because of this. Fucking hell, man. Fucking hell. Oh shit. They're fucking dead? Oh my god, this is fucking crazy. I didn't think shit was just gonna go like this out of nowhere, really.
Open the pod bay doors, please, Hal.
Something tells me Hal's not gonna do it.
Open the pod bay doors, please, Hal.
Oh my god.
Hello, Hal, do you read me? Do you read me, Hal?
Affirmative, Dave. I read you.
His voice is so creepy.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Oh, shit.
What's the problem?
I wonder if he's programmed to do this, though. Or is this just himself? Well,
This
itself.
mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.
Oh, shit.
I don't know what you're talking about, Hal.
I know that you and Frank were planning to disconnect me.
So, how are you going to do the mission without the humans, though? You're just going to do it alone? You're just going to do it by yourself?
Where the hell did you get that idea, Hal?
Dave, although you took very thorough precautions in the pod against my hearing you, I could see your lips move.
Yeah, they should have been going like this or something. Can't think of everything. That's called human error right there.
I'll go in through the emergency airlock.
Without your space helmet, Dave, we're going to find that rather difficult. This conversation can serve no purpose anymore.
Oh my god, this is so cool. How's this gonna go? Because he doesn't have his mask, right? Or not mask, helmet. I guess if he could just do this, will he be able to get in there without? I don't know. Oh wait, is he? Oh, is he? Jesus Christ! And he's gonna shut the door as quick as he can. So they did utilize that, the explosive thing, you know. Now go turn that goddamn computer off.
Just what do you think you're doing, Dave? I really think I'm entitled to an answer to that question. I can assure you now, very confidently, that it's going to be all right again. I feel much better now. I really do.
Hal's scared now.
I honestly think you ought to sit down calmly.
I don't know why this is so funny. Just it's like the way the voice is so like, I don't know. It's funny.
Stop, will you?
He's doing it.
Stop, Dave. I'm afraid, Dave.
It is interesting that this computer genuinely does have emotions, though.
My mind is going. Good afternoon.
I guess it's starting to work then.
I became operational at the HAL plant in Urbana, Illinois on the 12th of January, 1992.
1992?
My instructor was Mr. Langley, and he taught me to sing a song.
The voice is changing, too.
It's called Daisy.
Well, I feel like this is going to be really creepy. Not this song.
Give me your answer, do.
Bro, this is a horror film. I'm sorry, this is.
I'm crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage. I can't afford
The fucking voice is so deep.
This is a pre-recorded briefing made prior to your departure, in which for security reasons of the highest importance has been known on board during the mission only by your HAL 9000 computer.
Oh shit.
Now that you are in Jupiter's space and the entire crew is revived, it can be told to you. 18 months ago, the first evidence of intelligent life off the Earth.
Oh, shit!
It was buried 40 feet below the lunar surface.
So it was aliens then. Well, that thing was buried, yeah.
Except for a single, very powerful radio emission aimed at Jupiter.
Oh.
The 4-million-year-old black monolith has remained completely inert.
I love this shot. Well, there you go. Okay, that explains a lot. Jupiter and beyond the infinite. Are we actually gonna get to see Jupiter? I mean, that house shit was creepy as hell, I gotta say. Still with the creepy ass music. I need to know how they did this stuff. Like what are they shooting here? Like I need to know what was being filmed here to show these shots. What is that? Huh? Oh my god, what the fuck? What the hell was that? This is really trippy. I don't even know what the fuck I'm looking at the time, but it just looks cool. Why does it look like a head? A lot of these shapes are looking kind of strange. Is this just what Jupiter looks like? Are we at Jupiter now? We saw it in the distance, but I mean, up close, is this what it looks like? What the fuck? So are these colors, is this like... I mean, I wouldn't assume Jupiter actually has these colors. It could just be a stylistic choice to show like how, I don't know, unbelievable the planet could look. I'm not sure. What the fuck? Are those waves? It's not even looking like Jupiter anymore. It's just looking like, unless Jupiter could have water on it, I have no idea. It's just looking like Earth. What the fuck? Huh? Alright, now I'm just confused. Is that supposed to be him? Yeah. And he's older. What the fuck? Hard to tell if it's in his mind or if it's real. It's a nice looking bathroom. Again, he's older here. What the fuck? Are they duplicating? There's like a new one every 5 seconds. Oh shit. Is he an embryo now? What? It looked like he was getting progressively older. Now he turned into an embryo? Is he restarting his life? And he's floating out in space? Am I supposed to be this puzzled? I feel like I got the movie up until that point. So okay, let me try to like work this out in my head before, because I'm sure I'll start looking up videos and articles and stuff trying to fully explain it. Because I think I really love when movies don't fully explain things, to kind of leave it up for interpretation. But sometimes there is, I don't know what you'd call it, but like a preferred interpretation from the creator, where there is something that you're supposed to take away from with a certain movie's ending. But there's also times where they're just like, nah, it's up to interpretation. You think about it however you want. There's goods in both of those different ways. I don't think you necessarily have to have one or the other. But so this movie very clearly has a lot of ideas about like the evolution of man. It starts off with apes, and it shows that those, eventually we came from those. At least that's what, a lot of people believe. Makes sense. And then there's so they have the whole thing where the alien artifact, whatever you want to call it, thing lands there, right? And that scene in itself, it was really long, like 20-minute sequence, which was really interesting for me. I'm not expecting 20 minutes of apes thrown, messing around, but there was clearly an importance to everything they were doing there. And then we jump into the actual mission itself, and we get to kind of find out that they have this mission to go to Jupiter. And on the ship itself, I mean, that was definitely my favorite part of this entire film, was literally that like 40-minute segment where Dave and, was it Poole or something? I think his last name was Poole, the other guy, were trying to just figure out what to do with the communication like dish that was broken, or at least I thought it was broken, and then they found out that no, it wasn't. It was, they were working on it just fine. It seemed fine. So they were like, okay, we got to shut down Hal because he's causing problems. He's, making us think there's issues that aren't actually existing. And then Hal gets kind of pissed about that. And so tries to just completely throw out all the humans because he's like, no humans involved, because I need to make sure this mission goes as planned, and it's not going to go as planned if you are trying to shut me down. Which all that stuff was great. And then he continues on his mission, and then shit just starts getting trippy as hell. And he somehow just ages, either they were skipping time, or he's aging really fast, or those are different versions of himself in the same. There's a chance there was a lot of like space-time travel going on there. I have no idea, but eventually he just turns into a goddamn embryo. Now, I don't really know exactly what that entails. Again, it could be about the whole idea of evolution, but I think my best guess for like what was going on with the colors and stuff, I'm just assuming that where he was, the aliens he came across, I guess there was something that was able to just make his mind just go crazy. Because those colors and everything, that's not a normal space thing. There's no way space looks like that. I feel like we would know that. So that must have been the fictional aspect of this, where it's trying to just go absolutely bonkers with it. And I think whatever is out there, whatever aliens were there, were making Dave see those things, whether it's actually there itself and that's like visions they can create, or it's just all in his mind and that's what's happening. And the end there, like I at first I thought he was back at his house. I thought maybe that was his home, possibly. But then the whole thing of him constantly switching his states, I was like, I don't know if he's actually at his home. Maybe that's somewhere actually with the aliens itself. I have no idea. Of course, like I said, he ends up back as a baby, and it looked like he was in space, so he's not where he was before. I don't know what that means. I don't know, and I'm definitely curious to look up videos, and I want to hear all your guys' thoughts in the comments, but that's the best theory I can give for that ending, which I can see why this is as popular as it is. I can see why this became such a well-acclaimed film, because obviously this can have a lot of conversations from it, just from what everything means. And I also see this being a movie a lot of people probably don't like. And at least for myself, I definitely don't think I'm going to rewatch this film. And it's not because it's not great. It's because it does very much have that slow pace to it, like crippling slow pace, which is totally fine when it's the first time you're watching a movie. Like, that's totally fine because you're taking everything in, you're experiencing it for the first time. It doesn't really matter how slow it is. And I've always had that take. Well, unless, of course, the movie is just bad, then when you add on slow on top of that, then it's a whole problem. But that's another thing. But when you have something like this, where it's clearly trying to go for it being a visual spectacle, having all these just insanely, like, I don't know how we did it type sequences, especially for the time. But like, would I ever rewatch this? It would be hard to get me to rewatch this. I probably wouldn't want to. Maybe I'd rewatch certain scenes, but to sit down and rewatch this whole thing, I don't know if I personally would. That's just my own opinion there. But I don't really rate movies on rewatchability. I mean, that's like a small, tiny aspect of it, maybe, but just in terms of my first time viewing it, I was more just amazed by a lot of it. And I think the musical score helped a lot of those scenes where they're just showing space and showing the different space stations and the ships moving. Like, a lot of times they focused like 10 minutes on just that. But the music helped that a lot. If there was no music, I think it would definitely have a bit of an issue there. But it was, there's nothing I can really critique about this. That's the thing. I'm not smarter than Kubrick. I can't critique this like that. But not that you can't critique it just because you're not, I've always hated that philosophy. Like, you're allowed to critique something even if it's from someone who is better, than you at what he obviously knows more than me about this. But I do think you're still allowed to critique. I just don't think I have any critiques for this, other than, like I said, the rewatchability, which that's a small thing. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts about, like, what does this ending mean to you? Because what I gave there was my thoughts. I literally just think it was all about the whole movie was about evolution of man in general and just where they were able to get to this point, but also what actually was happening there. I do think that was the aliens creating that vision for Dave, or at least some sort of a place for him. I don't know. Like I said, would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed, you can check out the full uncut reaction on my Patreon. Link to that will be in the description. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Peace out, everyone.